NFL playoffs have arrived, and it's anyone's game. While 14 teams gear up for that tournament, a handful of other teams have jumped on the head coaching carousel after Black Monday. We predict Super Wildcard weekend games and more right here on Coast Knows Ball.
Jacob is looking mighty.
Well, you know, we always look dapper here on the Coast to Coast podcast. And now the Coast Knows Ball podcast. We have to look dapper. I mean, the hair is hairing today. The uniform is uniforming today. And the Jaguars are winning their first Super Bowl this year because I don't know what the feeling in my gut is right now. But the Jags not only have one of my favorite head coaches in the league, but they have my favorite head coaching candidate in the league right now with Grant Udinski. And I'm a huge fan of what they got brewing down there in Jacksonville. And I am fully buying in with Trevor Lawrence. I think it's a weak playoff field, and I think the Jags right now are the team to beat, and they have been playing pretty menacing football for weeks to come. They've been playing pretty menacing football for the last few weeks and will continue for weeks to come.
Well, they sure have.
No, it's all right. You're a time traveler. It's confirmed now. It's okay. I've had that suspicion for a while now, although you seem to be doing pretty horrible on the weekly pick'ems, but that's okay. You know, you're trying to keep us humble, you know, on the show.
Hey, someone has to have the fun picks, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough indeed. But yeah, pretty wild week. Pretty wild playoff slate that we have ahead of us. Should be a lot of fun. I really think, you know, Jacksonville has a great case for them, although maybe their toughest matchup comes in wildcard weekend, which is unfortunate for them. But I really have a good feeling for a lot of teams, and it feels very, very open, which I love to see for the NFL.
It's actually very exciting, especially with a lot of the big hitters missing from, recently from recent years. A lot of those hitters are missing, and there's a lot of narratives. Obviously, like is Josh Allen's year? Is the year where he takes advantage? Is a new winner gonna step in town and whatnot? So I think it's very, very exciting actually. Lots of parity.
It's almost turning over of a new leaf. You know, a new era is upon us in the NFL, and hopefully that rings true over the next few seasons. But I guess, I mean, nothing much more to add before we really get into the meat and bones here. Whether you guys want to talk Black Monday first and the head coaching firings, and maybe a couple candidates that we like. I think this is a super weak year to really need a head coach, which is unfortunate for certain teams, which is why I'm a little bit concerned about the John Harbaugh firing for the Ravens in particular. Like, I get, at some point you just need to move on, and it was not a successful season, and there is definitely a bridge burnt between Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, and you've committed to Lamar Jackson with that contract and everything. And so I get that whole part of it, but I just don't know if this is the right offseason to make that move. You know what I mean? But let me hear you guys' thoughts on that and the rest of the carousel.
It just feels a little shitty that the coach that you just produced a couple years ago is now the one seed in the opposing conference. But obviously you have hindsight with that. I've been on the camp that Harbaugh and Tomlin have far overstayed their welcome, and I feel like I've been in the minority in that camp because, well, at least early on, because I was on this camp like 2022. I was heavily in the fire both camp because, genuinely speaking, you got to have success in the playoffs, and when the same guy is beating you with the same thing over and over again, at some point you got to figure it the fuck out. And regardless of making the playoffs, you got to have success beyond the playoffs because nobody cares about wild card losses and divisional round losses. Yep. You got to win the Super Bowl if you want to be remembered. And so I've been in the camp that these two guys should have been fired for a while. Tomlin's obviously going to keep his job. Harbaugh, he'll be fine where he goes. He'll probably have more success. I don't doubt that. I just think he needed a change of scenery, and Baltimore needed someone different to manage these materials and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's a very awkward situation because of how proven he is, and then
it is a little.
It's not
awkward,
like he's not having success, right?
It's very Andy Reid.
I think it's very similar to the McDermott situation. Not even because, I mean, in a way, in regards to moving over to hump, because Harbaugh even won a Super Bowl, right? And
Yeah.
Harbaugh's more proven, but it's still very similar in my opinion. McDermott is in a very similar spot in the sense that if he doesn't win soon, he's gonna get kicked out. So I actually think it's highly possible that if McDermott loses to the Jaguars, he gets fired. I think it's very, very possible, actually. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But I don't think it's necessarily the wrong decision. I don't think you have to necessarily think about what's available. Because if you know a move has to be done, you can't really just leave the guy there. And knowing that he's not the guy anymore, especially if there's a connection severed with him and Lamar. It feels like you had to make a decision between him and Lamar.
Right.
And the Ravens chose Lamar, which I think is the right decision. So I think they just had to move on.
Yeah, totally.
I agree.
And maybe, we don't know much about these situations. They're all very brand new. Black Monday just happened. And maybe they have someone that they are already looking at. Maybe they've had some
They sent a very quick interview request to Anthony Weaver, just to quickly cut you off there.
Yeah, so my point is that, maybe something like this, if from the perspective that I just gave a few minutes ago, can seem they're very brash and maybe not well thought. But that's because on our surface level, we don't really know what is going on, who they've talked to, and who they're actually looking at and who is actually available, because we really don't know who is going to be available at this point. A lot of talks about Robert Saleh potentially getting another chance, but frankly, who knows? If the 49ers defense, it already hasn't been very good.
I've seen multiple news outlets rank Saleh number one candidate
and
available.
He just might be. But I also don't know because of how poorly the defense has performed. Granted, it's a very injured unit and everything like that. But, the last 5 weeks of the season, it was not impressive. And if that continues, and if that's the reason they lose a playoff game early and they don't make it to the NFC Championship or something like that, I mean, who knows? He could be stuck in San Francisco for another year, and maybe he declines that option. I think San Francisco would be very wise, actually, to make him the highest paid by a large margin coordinator or assistant coach in the NFL, just to keep him around, because I feel like he's a very invaluable piece to this coaching staff. And obviously the Niners have greatly improved as a result of getting better coaches around Kyle Shanahan. And so I think it's a very interesting talking point, when we talk about a candidate like Saleh going into the offseason.
Now, not necessarily a head coach, but an unexpected firing for the widespread public. Not so much our opinion, I don't think. Cliff Kingsbury is out as offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. And personally speaking, this just kind of feels like a wake-up call for public fans on Cliff Kingsbury and kind of like the perception of him. Because he gets a lot of widespread media attention for the 2 years of success he had with second-year Kyler and then obviously first-year Jaden. But if we're being realistic, Caleb Williams in his first year put up really similar numbers to what Jaden Daniels did. It's just that the team success was a bit better for the Commanders, obviously, than the Bears was. And generally speaking, we've seen Cliff Kingsbury's offenses get figured out very, very quickly, very, very frequently. So this is one of those things where I've had multiple friends be like, I don't mind Cliff Kingsbury as like a head coaching candidate for like my team. Like I've had Raiders fans who are friends of mine that have said that, and it's just completely lost on me because this guy is not a head coach in the NFL, and it's just been clear as day in my opinion.
I think that's very similar to Joe Brady and how people view the Bills over the last few years. Like, well, man, Josh Allen's an MVP player. James Cook is an elite ball carrier. Like, why isn't Joe Brady a head coaching candidate? Well, if you actually watch the game, you would see that, he limits this offense quite a bit. And that's why he, to me, was never a legitimate head coaching candidate, despite the hype at about week 6 of this season that he was getting. And I always thought that was super strange. So yeah, I'm totally with you on that pipeline with Cliff Kingsbury. I don't expect that to happen. He probably just returns to college, right?
He should go back to college because it fits his skill set better.
He should be a
He was well. He wasn't a successful head coach, but he could very well be. I don't think that the issues at Texas Tech were necessarily his issues back then. You got to factor in how awful Big 12 defenses were back in his era. But regardless, a player that I want to talk about who we can finally recap his entire year of play now that the season has ended, because week by week we keep hearing about the small successes that this player's had every single week and everything that he has had to face as far as adversity goes. And I just want to say, Shedeur Sanders, shout out to you for having the lowest QBR in Browns rookie history by a quarterback who has played in at least 6 games. Congratulations. The only person who actually is below you, regardless of the game count, is Johnny Manziel, and he is only 2 points lower. You achieved a 12 QBR, which is very legendary, suiting for your number. Congratulations, Shedeur Sanders.
Is it really 12? No shot. That's crazy. This is news to me. Let's look at this.
Crazy, actually.
Why is a QBR on the... QBR 19 is what it says on Football Reference, but that's still really bad. Wow. That's something. Yeah, so passer rating 68.1, QBR 19. That's what Football Reference says.
That's a little crazy, huh?
Yeah, what is the number's always brought up? What is the QBR if you throw only incomplete passes? It's like 32 or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that's passer rating.
What's that?
Oh, I thought that was passer rating, not QBR.
You might be right. That might be passer rating. Yeah,
but yeah, he definitely. I can't remember. It might not have been 12, but he definitely is the lowest QBR by a Browns rookie quarterback. Other than Manziel.
Well, hey, hats off to him. 3-4 record. That's pretty impressive, honestly, if you're a Browns player.
Well, it's Browns history. I'm not sure if it's on the right side of history.
Yeah, I feel like Browns history, it ones up itself all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Here, I think I put it in the memes chat. Where is it? Because I know I had a graphic for it. You can go ahead and carry on while I'm looking for this.
Who else got fired on Black Monday? Let's talk about each opening and do they deserve to be fired? And stuff like that.
Let's start with the first one. Was it Brian Daboll?
Yeah, Daboll. Yeah, during the season, Daboll was fired. 100%.
Yeah, Giants are open. The Ravens position has to be the hottest team in the NFL. I mean, I feel like that has to be the number one job available just because you have your guy as a quarterback. That's
speaking for my Dolphins, McDaniel has a job for now, but it seems like if they get an opening to get Harbaugh or another
the Dolphins have contacted Harbaugh.
Yeah, they're inquiring.
Really funny. Sorry. One more crazy stat that I saw, or just for the end of the year, that's really fucking hilarious. The fewest wins in the NFL this season: Raiders 3, Jets 3, Cardinals and Titans also had 3. The team that Sauce Gardner was playing for, 2.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that as well.
How lovely.
They have a rough year for Sauce Gardner. Oh, man. This is a tough one.
Gets traded mid-season to the 9-and-whatever Colts, or not 9-win Colts, but the 7-2 Colts or something, and
8-2, yeah.
Doesn't win a single game.
8-2.
Yeah, doesn't win a single game after that.
And it's so funny, looking back on my hot takes segments that we had for the last month or two of football. A lot of them actually ended up being pretty somewhat accurate, and that was one of them where I said the Colts will not win another football game this season. They went 0-4, 0-5 after that. They finished with an 8-9 record, brutal stuff. But yeah, 100% totally right.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so Brian Daboll fired.
Oh, wait, dude. I didn't even see this. If Shedeur Sanders played the full season, he would have set the interception record for rookies.
That's cool.
Like he was on pace to do it, right?
He did that while playing against the Raiders and Titans for 2 of the 6 games. Oh my gosh. First round pick, legendary.
He went 1-1 in those games
All right.
as well.
Yeah, 1-1 against the Titans and Raiders.
Okay, so the NFL, this article has the Raiders ranked as the 7th best of 7 head coaching vacancies right now. I think
I think the Falcons being above them is kind of crazy. I think the Falcons has to be the worst position open.
You really think so?
Falcons have some cornerstone players.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. You don't have a first round pick this year. Your quarterback position is screwed. You're probably not going to be bad enough to pick one of the top guys next year in the quarterback class. So you're either going to have to trade all your assets to go get a quarterback, or you're really just going to be stuck with Penix for at minimum 2 years. That's going to probably get you fired as is, because you're not going to get a longer leash than 2 years with under a 500 record. That's just not an appealing job.
Yeah, I hear you with that, but I think I know exactly what Vitor is going to say here as well. Like the minus the first round pick is really tough for the Falcons. That's a brutal loss for them, but it ended up not being as bad as we expected, because it's not a top 10 pick like it was forecasted to be for a large portion of the season, because they did go on a bit of a win streak at the end there, and I mean they played spoiler for the Buccaneers in the final week of the season, but
after Kirk told Baker to go win the NFC South. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so Kirk, when he last played the Bucs, he dapped up Baker and he said, "Go win the NFC South." And then Kirk eliminated Baker from winning the NFC South.
That's pretty funny. That's awesome. Yeah, but what I was going to say about the Falcons is similar to what Vitor is getting at with the roster and everything. I think they have a stronger roster than the Cardinals or the Raiders, and both of those teams also lack the quarterback. Whereas the Titans have a much worse roster, but we'd like to think they have the quarterback, right? But the Cardinals don't.
Titans have the quarterback. Raiders have the number 1 pick. Those are both more appealing positions. The Cardinals are picking in a position where they can get their quarterback, and their O-line is already pretty built up. They have defensive young players that you can work with. You have a lot of retooling to do on the defense. Like, that's going to be a long rebuild, but the offense is not far away. You're pretty much just a running back and a quarterback away from having a really solid offense there in Arizona, assuming Marvin Harrison can figure it the fuck out.
I hear you with that stuff.
Assuming.
But that is assuming that...
Sorry.
That is assuming that they also
the quote-unquote generational receiver is actually going to be an above-average receiver.
Yeah.
We would hope to see that.
Right. But that's also assuming that they hit on the quarterback. And, of course, Cam Ward is not a guaranteed thing either, but
Dante Moore to the Cardinals just feels so good, dude.
I feel pretty good about Ward.
He showed flashes.
I feel really good about Ward, too.
But he has looked
Ward's
good.
Throws on tape were so beautiful, dude, and he has the controlled gambling thing where he knows when to be an aggressive quarterback and kind of be like a riverboat player, and he knows when to make those throws because he can execute them in a way that isn't putting the ball at risk of being turned over. And that shows up on tape all the time. His ball placement is otherworldly. It's top of the league, genuinely. Yeah, I think that shows up on tape a lot, and it's realistically a big receiver problem in Tennessee.
Yeah,
and he uses his athleticism the way AR was supposed to, right? Coming to the league. So he is the athletic freak AR was supposed to be. But he's actually able to use them. He's not.
No, you don't know what you're talking. Cam Ward is not an athletic freak, bro. He's a very crafty scrambler. He's not a fast scrambler.
He's definitely a fast scrambler.
Here's how I would put it. I think he's a very good scrambler. I think his ball handling can be better, and I think we saw a lot of that this season. But Anthony Richardson was much more of a Cam Newton.
Roofy. Cam Ward ran a 4.940.
You didn't even let me finish my point. Obviously, AR is more of the athletic freak, but he's not able to exploit it. Meanwhile, Kilmore, even with his limitations, he's able to improvise the way he's able to.
You are running damage control there, Vitor. You are running damage control.
I guess.
I get what you're saying, but that is not what you meant initially.
Okay, how about we settle for he improvises like S tier in the league? How about that?
Cam Ward is just Baker Mayfield, but never gets cold. That is it. I mean, he is very good Baker Mayfield.
I would disagree with that too, but
I don't get.
If you look at their play styles, it's exactly the same. They are very crafty scramblers who know when to scramble on third downs, second downs, get the first downs. They aren't overly fast, but they play smart with the ball. They are. If you look at their play styles back to back, I think you would see a lot more similarities than just what you're thinking right now.
I'm not saying they're dissimilar. You said that Baker Mayfield that doesn't get cold. I just don't believe that.
Well, yeah, he gets cold. I'm being a bit facetious here.
He had issues being consistent this year.
Yeah, he definitely gets cold. It's just he was really hot at the end of the year. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay,
I think Cam Ward will be fine. I'm a fan of his.
So Jacob, you would...
Yeah, I'm big on buying Cam right now.
Yeah, I think we all are. So Jacob, you have Atlanta as the worst situation, right? I didn't move you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vitor, who do you think is the worst situation?
The Raiders.
Okay. I would lean Arizona, and part of the reason why is because not even like in their control, but they're playing in the toughest division in football, where the other three teams are just absolute behemoths.
That's actually a good point.
And that's just going to be
like, look at the coaches that you have to coach against.
Yeah. The coaches and rosters. Like, these rosters are already built with star players at basically every level of the roster. And that's just really tough to compete with when you are so far behind. You know, you don't get any kind of head start whatsoever. Although maybe they get a head start on the quarterback situation as far as the Rams are concerned, but that's really the only maybe advantage that Arizona has in that division. So yeah, I think Arizona's probably my worst, and then Las Vegas, and then Atlanta and Tennessee are kind of tied for me, and obviously for different reasons.
I just think Tennessee is a very appealing job right now. I'm not going to lie. I have Tennessee a lot higher for some reason.
I think that they can be appealing. I just don't know if they're going to field the best guy, number one. But number two, not just because of like certain coaches are just not going to want to take that risk with such a roster that needs so much help, but also the overreach with the general manager with Amy Adams Strunk right now. I just don't know how many coaches are going to want that kind of overreach. You know, we saw what kind of happened, and it's not just been Strunk, because obviously it was Rand Carthen before that, and before that I don't remember who, but it feels like maybe an ownership front office thing.
Rand Carthen in his bag.
Yeah.
But
it feels like if a coach overreaches with the Titans, they will get canned even if they shouldn't, like a Mike Vrabel situation, right? So I just don't know if coaches will want that. I feel like Ben Johnson, the reason Ben Johnson chose Chicago is because it felt like he had the full control of what he wanted to do there. He was able to, I mean, think about how much money they invested in the offensive line in just one off season, because Ben Johnson had that kind of control. I just don't know if a head coach or a premium head coach candidate will get the same control in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty valid.
That is very fair. I mean, you don't want to deal with a micromanaging GM. It's a very annoying thing to have to deal with as a coach.
Yeah. But maybe the general managers this offseason are right to do so, because I do think that this is a pretty weak circuit of head coaches to be. We'll see what happens, you know, what comes out of the woodwork. I'm sure, like I said, there will be some surprise candidates that emerge at the end of the cycle and get hired by the Giants or something like that. But, you know,
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here with this next one. But low-key, the Browns are the second worst job to have.
Really?
You do not want to be the coach that goes to Cleveland, man. It's not a good thing. It never works. We have not seen this be successful ever. You have not seen a coach go to Cleveland and win. It hasn't happened. In our lifetime, it has not happened.
I get you, and that is
it's
true.
and it's an organizational thing,
Which
and
means
just losing is instilled in that city in so many ways. It's just so hard to overcome, and you have the locker room issues right now, which sure won't be there long, but you have to deal with it for another year probably. Like, that is a very unappealing position.
I get you. The culture is definitely a big factor and a big reason why, like, honestly, even though they're ranked 3 here in the NFL ranking, and like that's not a bad ranking, I don't necessarily think, but there aren't like all these. There's only really one appealing, like super super appealing, maybe two super appealing head coaching opportunities.
See,
and
this is
one of
why I
them is
think the
Baltimore.
Titans need to be in the top 3. The
They might
Titans
have
should
to.
be
You
in the
might be
top
right.
3. I personally agree.
You might
like
be
that's
right.
just my thing, because like the Browns, if you're telling me you want to go to Tennessee and deal with a little bit of micromanaging, or do you want to go to the Cleveland Browns and deal with legendary for another year and have the culture of Cleveland for the last 30 years? Like, it's just, that is not a place I want to be.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Andrew Berry, the GM, has had a couple good drafts in
Andrew
a row.
Berry is elite. I do like Andrew Berry.
He's made a couple good free agent offseason signings, like Zadarius Smith, for example, a few years ago. And Jim Schwartz, if they keep him, is a fantastic defensive coordinator. The defense is going to be balling.
You didn't even... Did he bring in Jack Conklin, too?
I believe
Was that Andrew Berry?
That might have been one of his first moves. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and Conklin was great for the Browns. He immediately stepped up for them.
Yeah, and so I think there's more confidence in the general manager in Cleveland, which is a big plus. There is some of that roster construction. There is an idea there, especially on the defensive side, of course. And I really think that this team could be, a quarterback and a pass catcher and a good play caller away from being a pretty scrappy team in what feels like a very relatively weak AFC North right now. I feel like you have 2 other head coaches. The 2 head coaches that weren't fired are pretty damn mediocre. Mike Tomlin has a winning record every season, but does nothing with it and leads a bunch of individuals. And Zach Taylor's really bad. We've said that he should have been fired years ago. This feels like a division that could be up in the air despite Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson being in the mix, And I think
Myles Garrett.
Personally, I would have liked to see the Browns keep Stefanski for one more year, bring in Kirk Cousins, reunite Cousins with Stefanski, try and run that back, and if that doesn't work, fire Stefanski then, and then you have a much better quarterback class in 27.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll never know, of course, but it's not an unattractive thing to think about, I suppose. I just can't stand Stefanski, man. It's overdue.
You have the chance. You have the chance to become a legend, right?
Dude, that's 2-time coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking crazy. It's
2-time.
2-time.
You know who doesn't have 2 coach of the years? Fucking Bill Belichick. Wait, Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid doesn't have 2.
I don't think any head coach in the NFL right now has 2 coach of the years, except for Kevin Stefanski. That has to be true, right?
So
I mean, he went to the playoffs twice with the Browns. That's just coach of the year worthy.
I guess so. And literally one of them was given to him because Joe Flacco came in off the couch and won comeback player of the year. Like, what are we doing here, man? That doesn't make any sense. It's crazy.
So yeah, Phillip Rivers had fucking even odds to win comeback player of the year when he made his first start this year.
Fucking ridiculous.
Like, why? Dak Prescott.
Belichick won it. Belichick won it 4 times. I'm sorry, 3 times. Belichick won it 3 times.
Yeah, but he's not an active coach in the NFL.
No, I know. I'm just checking.
Andy Reid didn't win. I know Andy Reid hasn't won it multiple times.
Brian Daboll.
He won it once. We've had some bad coach of the years in recent memory.
Harbaugh won it once. Jim won it once.
Yeah.
Sean McVay.
There's been no Reid as of recent.
Andy Reid's only coach of the year is 2002. Oh wait, sorry, no, 2000 and 2002.
Kyle
Oh
Shanahan's
wait, no,
never
no,
won.
sorry, no, sorry. For AP, he's only won once, and it was 2002.
Belichick?
Yeah, the only active one
No,
is
Andy Reid.
Kevin
Oh,
Stefanski.
gotcha.
Yeah, Andy Reid's only coach of the year per NFL AP is 2002.
24 years ago, Jacob. 24. It's wild.
The best coach over our generation, and his only coach of the year is before I was born.
Didn't Jason Garrett win it twice as well? He might be an active head coach soon. Who knows?
Who knows?
Sean Payton's only coach of the year is 2006.
Really? 2006. Wow. I guess before the Bountygate stuff came out, so that makes some sense.
Jason Garrett won coach of the year in 2016 when he went 13-3 with Dak as a rookie. That's low-key valid. I don't disagree with that one.
Didn't he win in like 2018 as well? I could have sworn he won twice. I could be totally wrong though.
2018 NFL coach of the year, Matt Nagy.
See, this is the problem when you give it to like someone in their first year or whatever. Like, man, do we really expect them to replicate like peaking this early? And you just look at the rest of their coaching career afterwards. It's like fucking Peyton Hillis on the Madden cover. You know, like what did we expect to happen?
Dude, that one was so funny.
What did we expect to happen? Of course, that guy got cursed.
Yeah, but it was fan voted, okay? It's not like that was the NFL's choice.
No, of course not. But it is funny.
Which, by the way, ultimate troll drop. This is why you don't do fan voting leagues. The 2014 Royals gave you plenty enough evidence,
Yeah.
but also Peyton Hillis on the Madden cover. Don't allow fans to vote for awards or covers or anything, because we will just popularity the fuck out of it.
Oh, that's nice. Playoff Predictors has just a playoff bracket page. That's pretty cool. Okay, so
That's awesome.
real quick, just to wrap up the coaching segment for now. Of course, we'll talk about it more as more news comes out and everything like that, and you know, in our first off-season episode and whatnot. But go ahead and
Wait. One more comment.
Sure.
Because I'm looking at the coach of the years over the last few years, and Kevin O'Connell being the last one is really fucking funny to me because of how bad he was this year, and we just mentioned first year coaches. What are we thinking on Kevin O'Connell real quick? Heat check.
Yeah.
It rings so true. It rings so true.
Man. Ron Rivera has a bunch of... Ron Rivera and Bruce Arians traded coach of the years. So Bruce Arians won it in 12 with the Colts, then Rivera in 13 with the Panthers, then Arians with the Cardinals in 14, and then Rivera again with the Panthers in 15.
Okay.
Just fun trivia for you.
Huh.
Marvin Lewis had coach of the year.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That's a good one for sure. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
I just real quick from 7 to 1, go ahead and rank. Just give me your guys' rankings for the openings. I kind of
So I was obviously the Ravens is 1. Number 2 for me would be the Titans, followed by the Giants, followed by the Raiders, followed by the followed by the Cardinals, followed by the Browns, followed by the Falcons.
Okay.
And then if the Dolphins were in this mix, they would be above the Raiders, below the Titans. Because I like the Titans quarterback a lot. And the Dolphins have a bit of retooling, but I think the job overall is a lot more attractive than the ones below it.
I was thinking 4 of 8 if Miami was in the mix, so about the same range.
That's where it would be, is 4 for me, below the Titans.
So for me, I would have Baltimore 1, Tennessee 2, Giants 3, Browns 4.
Or sorry, below the Giants, not Titans.
Falcons 5, Cardinals 6, and then Raiders 7.
Okay.
Yep. There
So
go.
we all kind of agree, honestly. I just think
I feel like talking it out, we all kind of agreed once we laid out our thoughts and we gave our angles on it. I feel like we all kind of communicated that well and then picked up on knowledge because the Titans moved up a lot. It originally started with, okay, I think the Titans are better than where they have them, and then I was like, okay, low-key they should be in top 3, and then obviously me and Broofy both put them at 2. You put them at 3, I think.
So mine would
Oh.
be Baltimore 1. Yeah, probably New York 2. I really think that roster's better than it was coached to be this year. 3, probably Tennessee, then Cleveland, Atlanta, Vegas, Arizona. Arizona's my worst.
I just really fuck with Phoenix. Scottsdale and Phoenix is a really attractive place to live. I mean, let's be honest. Cliff Kingsbury's basement, that alone is attractive enough to go.
I mean, it's why all
for
the old people
Cardinals.
go there. It's a nice retirement place.
Oh yeah,
Like Havasu City. That's very well known for Californians and SoCal people
Right.
in particular. But yeah, all right. So yeah, mostly agree there. Again, I really think it's like Baltimore number 1, and then there's a really big gap. And there are things to like about every other situation, in my opinion, but there are also certain aspects that really, really detract from, like, say, the Falcons or the Cardinals. Just as 2 examples. Obviously, the Raiders is another one, but okay. What happened?
fucking what Mallard said.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's totally right. Totally right. Nice live reaction. Okay. We don't need to do power rankings unless you guys really want to. I would only rank the 14 playoff teams. I don't think that's necessary.
No.
I think we
I don't
just
think
go
it's
in.
necessary.
I think we predict Super Wildcard Weekend, and then we do who we think, all 3 of us round table, who we think is going to play in the Super Bowl, and then we can do a group bracket if we have time.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Question.
yes.
When I do my picks, can I tell you what I want to happen and what I think is gonna happen, just so I don't sound biased?
Sure. I think we have a good idea of what that means, though. At this
Okay,
point.
beautiful.
I mean,
But,
I think regardless, you're picking the Jags.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I
Jaguars and
genuinely think
Patriots
the Jags are
or
gonna win.
Chargers.
That's not a biased pick. It's not
Okay.
I swear to God, it's not a biased pick.
Well, let's go left to right here on playoff predictors. So we're going to start with the AFC side, 4 versus 5. The Carolina Panthers at home against the LA Rams. They played each other not too long ago in the regular season in Carolina, and Carolina pulled off the upset. Do we think that they can repeat that performance?
It being in Carolina is utter bullshit, but winning the division matters. NFC West teams, fuck you, I guess. The Rams should win this game regardless. They've had the bad thing happen to them. They know what to kind of look out for. I kind of feel like they're going to go in there and kind of just lay belt to ass, and we're going to see a complete reversal of what we saw the first meeting.
Vitor, you along those lines too?
Along those lines, yeah. I look at all these playoff matchups. I think this one is the easiest to pick, in my opinion. I've been on the Panthers train all season. They've disappointed me a little bit, especially how they won the division. So, yeah. I'm definitely picking the Rams here.
What do you mean, winning the division by the Falcons beating the Saints? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
The one way
to
to win the division with a losing record, so Jacob is vindicated on his point. I can't believe it fucking happened.
Dude, I brought this up in the Discord that it should not have been correct. I was stupid for saying that it could happen.
And it happened still. This is the kind of season we've had. The fact that the Falcons beat the Rams on
That's
Monday
just
Night
the
Football.
one-off thing, of course.
It's genuinely unbelievable.
It was fucking
what
hilarious.
a season.
What a season it's been indeed, and hopefully this game is not a real shitstorm that we all kind of expect it to be. I'm praying that the Panthers win because it would be so damn funny. It would be so funny, guys. Trust me. It would fucking the raucous.
But also, you would just feel so much better not having the Rams left in the bracket.
Oh, of course. But the raucous rage that would infest Twitter and NFL media if the Rams lost everyone's darling. They lose to the Seahawks 3 weeks ago, and the Seahawks then beat the Niners pretty convincingly on Saturday Night Football. And still the Rams are like, man, they've lost 3 of their last 5, but I still really think they're the best team in the NFL. I can't believe some of the takes that people have had. It's pretty wild. So
Right.
I hope.
And even though I feel like it's going to be a blowout, a 10.5 point spread is kind of insane. They would be 16.5 point favorites at home.
Yeah, that is something. And like the Panthers haven't been on recently. They lost 2 in a row, and we haven't seen them lose 2 in a row in a while. I feel like because they always like figure something out the next week. And maybe this is the week that it happens. I'm really hoping it is, but I'm not gonna pick them.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Rams win this week.
Yeah.
Now, this next one, the Eagles hosting the Niners. They are coming in as 4.5 point favorites currently. Niners are terrified. They are shaking in their boots because right now Trent Williams and Ricky Pearsall are both not practicing and both not expected to play, as far as I'm aware.
I don't know if it's not expected to play. Trent always gets rest days in the middle of the week, just vet rest days. Pearsall, I am concerned. Let's put it that way. I am concerned. I'm not going to look it up because whatever, it's bad mojo. But it may be that Trent is just getting a veteran rest day. That's very possible. The Pearsall thing is really concerning, especially because he practiced all week last week.
Did he get shot again?
I don't know. It's weird. He practiced all week last week. It felt like he didn't have complications from playing the week before against Chicago. But then all of a sudden, like as a game time decision, he's no longer playing against Seattle. And I think that really messed up the playbook and what they had planned in that game, how to beat Seattle's defense. And he was a big part of the week 1 victory against Seattle. And so that I think threw the whole team off. Just the vibes were off in that one. But it's good to have the vibes off before the playoffs, before you get eliminated. So I'd rather that, of course, happen in week 18 than wildcard round. Part of me, though, at the same time is not very worried because this team has either missed the playoffs entirely or made it to the conference championship round every season in the last 6 years. So something is going to happen that gets us to advance. That nothing.
I also just because what going into this game, it's feeling like an Eagles victory. We need to look at the season as a whole. The Niners, regardless of the status of the game, have gone out there and won way more than, or not way more, but more than the Eagles have. It feels like they against like teams that they feel like they should beat. I feel like the Niners have gone out there and executed and played good quality football significantly more often than the Eagles have, and I feel like the Eagles have gotten away with bad play significantly more so than any other team in the league. And so I think this 4.5 point spread can be a little bit misleading. I think the Niners are still a really high quality team, and at full health, I would be very confident in picking them to win this game, but I'm going to be picking them to win regardless just because I think Brock Purdy is that much better of a quarterback than Jalen Hurts is.
Okay.
I agree with a lot of the things Jacob said, but unfortunately I'm going with the Eagles simply because I think the injuries are going to catch up with the 49ers at this point. Now, the Eagles are not all that encouraging. I totally think the Niners are well coached and play well enough to prove me wrong on this one. Yeah, just an injury thing. And the Eagles haven't been looking that convincing, really. Nothing that the 49ers should be totally scared of, I think. But it is a team that's also well coached. They know how to play football at a very high level. So it's going to be a greedy game, for sure. A greedy game.
Yeah. Full bias as a Niner fan, things that I'm looking at as indicators for us winning the game. Number one, we have not lost in back-to-back games at all this season. So the fact that we lost before this is maybe a good sign of that. Number two, look at McCaffrey's carry touch number throughout the game. if he is about that 30 mark, on pace for that 30 mark, and he hits that 30 mark, I believe they're undefeated this season when he hits that number. So if he's getting the ball consistently and he's healthy and he's feeling good and they're running the ball well, that to me is a really good indicator of winning the game. And a lot of people are looking at this defense, Philly offense versus San Francisco defense matchup as potentially. Did I freeze?
No, you're still present.
Both your cameras froze for me.
Still present.
All right.
No, I think we're just sitting still.
Okay, I'll continue. No, you're not. You're definitely not sitting still. Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm lightheaded. I gotta screenshot this. Snipping tool, please, quickly, quick. No, it's gone. No.
No.
Oh my god. That was the funniest face ever. Holy shit. Sorry. Anyway, what I was going to say is the Philadelphia's middling offense versus San Francisco's middling defense. It feels like a lot of people are saying, well, this is an opportunity for Philadelphia's offense to catch some steam and really get going. And that could be true. But I think it's also an opportunity for an opportunistic defense that's dealt with injuries to maybe yet produce a turnover or two. And, you know, the turnovers that didn't bounce their way in against the Seattle game could bounce their way in this one, and that could be the difference.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
This next game kind of surprises me. Bears at home are the 1.5 point underdog against the Packers. I am shocked that they are not a favorite here. I just think they're the much better team, and the Packers are also just dead as far as injuries go. We talked about the Niners having really bad injury luck. The Packers are playing with a second lineup right now. Like, the amount of guys that they do not have that were on their starting lineup to begin the year, it's a different team. And so I would be just completely and utterly shocked if the Packers were able to pull this off, to be completely honest. I know we've seen them pull off the 7-seed upset before, but this doesn't feel that way. This isn't a fully healthy Packers team that's sneaky and getting hot at the right time. This is a very injury-riddled Packers team that's kind of stumbling here into the playoffs, and they're going up against a team that is young and hot and playing with a lot of fire in their gut.
Yeah, you're right. And whereas it's been a game of attrition for the Niners, where they dealt with a lot of injuries early, now they're relatively healthy, so to speak, I guess, compared to how they were in week 8 or whatever. But the Packers, all their injuries seem to have stacked up into the week 16, 17, 18, where all their key players have gone down with an injury over the last month of football. And so that's just brutal, crushing blow. It felt like they were getting some momentum before that. But yeah, if Chicago doesn't pull this off, I think that is pretty insane, quite frankly. I expect them to just do a better job, have a better game plan going into this one.
It would be a huge red flag for Ben Johnson if they don't win this game.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really shocking, I think. And I'm surprised so many people are picking the Packers to win, given the struggles that they've had with the injury bug over the last month. And I just don't know if their coaching staff is better either. I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it is. I think we've seen the Packers struggle in the second half with play calling year in, year out, and we haven't seen any change.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Now, moving on to the AFC side, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the Houston Texans, who are the 5 seed. What do we got?
Give me the Texans by a 10-point victory. They're going to win 13-3.
13-3 is such a good score.
I love that, yes. Hopefully that happens. That would be great.
It's such a good score.
We might see a good old 13-5.
Do the Steelers have any shot? Like, what's the percentage that they win?
I'll say like 70-30.
Okay.
What is the percentage that CJ Stroud throws 3 interceptions?
25%.
That That's a high percentage for Stroud.
That's high. Yeah, that's high.
I would say the Steelers have a 10% chance of winning because I don't think Stroud is throwing 3 picks in this game.
Well, okay, fair enough.
I think even if he throws 3 picks, the Steelers are gonna have to work their ass off.
Well, yeah, he has to throw 3 picks so that way the Steelers get good field positioning because I genuinely think that's the only way they're going to be scoring in this game. But also, they have to then execute on their good field positioning.
Okay.
Right.
I think this is a classic like 21-12 game, and they're all field goals.
That's very valid.
Neither team
7
gets in
field
the end
goals
zone. You know, Houston's had
Texans.
red zone problems all season. They're not going to have what happened against the Chargers a couple weeks ago. That's not going to happen again for them, and they're just going to run the ball.
Dude, I don't know. I think Nico could definitely bust one free for like a 62-yarder.
I think he could, but I mean, do we think that's going to happen against the Steelers? It feels like this is priming up to, no matter what happens, be the most boring game of Wild Card Weekend. Give me the Texans.
I personally disagree just because I enjoy watching the Texans right now. I'm not a Texans fan, obviously, but the Texans just are fun to watch. I enjoy watching them just because their uniforms are cool and they play good fundamental football, which is a rarity this year. I don't see good fundamental football at all in the NFL, so I am just in love with the Texans right now.
I just don't know if the matchup is entertaining. You know what I mean? I think the Texans versus like the Jaguars, which we could see in the divisional round, like that would be freaking electric. You know, awesome stuff. But I guess the Steelers, I just don't see it. Least compelling matchup of the Super Wildcard Weekend, in my opinion. Although Chicago, Green Bay is getting there. It's getting there.
It's still a rivalry.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars won the AFC South this year, so they're at home. They host a playoff game, and they're going up against the Buffalo Bills. What do we got?
Another even pick'em game based on the odds, 1.5 point spread. The Bills are technically the 1.5 point favorite. I got the Jags winning at home. They're just the better team here. We've seen the Bills lose to significantly lesser teams this year, and it's kind of just feeling like as much as we want to say the playoff field is wide open for Josh Allen, what have the Bills done this year to like show us that they are going to be the team to beat in the AFC? Because genuinely speaking, they have played down to every opponent that they have played other than the Jets. The Jets are the only team that they have been able to blow out, really. And that's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
For a team that has Josh Allen as their quarterback, where the rest of the AFC has an injured Joe Burrow and a bad Chiefs team, like to be so bland in the NFL where you could easily stand out, I don't want to pick you right now. And you've shown so many mistakes. I got to take the team that's just been executing significantly more often and is way hotter right now, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, that's it. The exact reason why I'm picking the Jaguars as well. And obviously, this is where I say what I think is going to happen, what I want it to happen. But actually, for this one, it's the same team. I think the Jaguars are going to win, and I want the Jaguars to win. Fuck the Bills. But, unironically, there's a lot of concerns around the Bills. Looking at it objectively, maybe Josh Allen carries his team to a win or to win the playoffs. I don't think it's sustainable to go deep in the playoffs with the receiving core that they have, and I think this is probably the worst defense. Or that defense, and I think this is probably the worst team they could have gotten in the first round.
Yeah, the Jags match up well in this game.
That's exactly what I was going to say, too. This is the worst possible draw that they could have gotten, and that's regardless of, like, the potential seeding. Like, if they had won the division and they are at home and Jacksonville has to go to Buffalo, I still think that's probably the worst possible matchup that they could get. So that's tough for round one. Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree. I don't know if that Josh Allen carrying the team is necessarily sustainable unless he is literally like inhuman in this postseason, which I guess is not entirely out of the question. We've seen him have stretches.
Bro needs to have a Dirk run.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. We've seen him have stretches where he's been just an unreal player, unreal creator.
100%.
And if he can
100%.
do that, I think he is maybe the most capable quarterback of winning the Super Bowl in this picture that we have right now. But it's a really bad draw in the first round. It's probably going to be a really bad draw in the second round if they advance. So it's definitely in the cards for Buffalo to win, but it needs to come on the back of a huge Josh Allen performance because the Jaguars stopped the run really well, and I just don't know if the Bills have the engine in the passing game right now to take advantage of the weakness of the Jaguars defense. So give me Jacksonville. Okay. I think it'll be very close still. I'm expecting some kind of late heroics from either quarterback, some kind of clutch play in the fourth quarter that keeps us on the edge of our seat, but Jacksonville by 3 or 4 points.
Lovely.
I would agree. I think that they could genuinely win by a touchdown. And the more that I think about this game, the more I just feel like it goes like the Falcons game, and they just have a 14-point lead at halftime. I think the Jags are going to be in a strong position at halftime, and it's going to be up to the Bills to make it an interesting game in the second half.
I think that's actually a really good take because we've seen that happen a couple of times over the last month in crucial games that the Bills ended up winning. Against the Bengals, they had a multiple score deficit, and then in the second half, they come back and win. Same thing against the Patriots. They had like a 3-score deficit going into half, and they ended up winning that game. And so those were really crucial games, and it ultimately literally went on Josh Allen's back to win those games, essentially. And a similar thing could happen here, 100%.
Right, and I think that actually goes to show how much the Bills are depending on the Josh Allen heroics, because obviously he's not going to play like Josh Allen in the first and second quarter because he's a smart, intelligent quarterback and he's going to be taking the right plays. And if he's going to have to take a sack, he's going to have to take the sack. But he's not going to be out here scrambling on third and whatever, trying to pick up the craziest third downs on first and second quarter, because it's more he wants to be playing safer with the ball. And it's genuinely taking him having to take those risks in the third and fourth quarter and make those crazy plays to actually put points on the board. And people are like, oh, well, he has the leading rusher in the league and he still can't win. That just goes to show how little value the fucking running back has. The running back doesn't mean anything, for the love of God. It is all O-line, and the running back does the receiving part. I'm sorry. That's just the state of the NFL. Derrick Henry is the one running back who runs better than any running back can. Like, otherwise you're replaceable.
Okay.
Respect Devon Achane.
That's a short.
Devon Achane is amazing at the receiving part and the lucidity, but he is still built from what the O-line provides him in the start.
Yeah, production-wise, I agree with you. As far as production is concerned, yes, you can only really take what the offensive line gives you, 100%. Which is why CMC for most of the year has been carrying less than 3 average. Because the O-line hasn't been giving him much.
But he's been receiving like a motherfucker.
Yeah, isn't he still first in receptions or something like that? Some ridiculous.
First in target share.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, last game of the wildcard round, we got the New England Patriots, AFC East champions with the 2 seed. They're at home against the Los Angeles Chargers, the 7th seed of the AFC. What do we got?
I'm kind of feeling the upset here.
Oh,
I don't know why. I just think this defense might cause issues. I think Drake May is very, very good. But I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball overly well against the Chargers. And I don't think obviously Drake May can execute if he has to, but it's his first playoff appearance. Times could get stressful. He's going against a very, very good head coach. They're going to have a very tight defense, and the defensive coordinator for the Chargers is legitimately an amazing head coach candidate as well. So I'm just feeling the upset here. I think the Chargers match up well in this game.
Okay. Vitor?
So here, I want the Chargers to win, but I think the Patriots are going to win this game. I don't love how the Chargers been playing as of late, and the Patriots have been playing really sound football. Of course, the playoffs are a different beast, and it's the first year where this team actually connected. So I could definitely see the Chargers winning here. with Harbaugh and that experience. But Vrabel, I like Vrabel as well. I think he's gonna have his guys ready, so I'll go with the Patriots.
I think this is a super close contest as well. Frankly, the AFC might feature 3 really close games here. But I am leaning Los Angeles as well based on the matchup. Not that the Patriots are a bad team. I think they're a very good team. We've all talked highly of the Patriots all season long. But I don't know if the offensive line struggles and the offensive line injuries for the Chargers means that much in this particular matchup. I don't know if I can trust the pass rush of New England to consistently generate that kind of pressure to make Herbert mistake prone in this game. Whereas the Chargers defense has been very good recently. It has been very good at creating turnovers, and against a team that has been very inconsistent as far as the offensive play call and distribution of the football, where even in the pass game, Drake May seems to rely a lot, depending on the week, on 1 or maybe 2 of his pass catchers in the pass game. And I just think that a more diversified offense is what you really need to beat the Chargers in a playoff game in Super Wildcard Weekend. And I just don't know if I've seen that the Patriots are capable of doing that on offense. As great as Drake May's been, as great as the offense has been this year, it feels a little bit more one note than pretty much anyone else in this playoff picture. So I am leaning the Chargers for those reasons. I think it's a very close game, though.
I hope you guys are right.
And this really leads well into the Chargers actually have a decent route to the Super Bowl here, because as good as the Broncos have been, quote unquote, on the year, this is not a 1 seed caliber team in my opinion. And they've kind of showed that over the last few weeks, just kind of trickling into the playoffs. The loss against the Jags was brutal, and it really exposed a lot of their fundamental weaknesses. And I think the Chargers, if they can turn over Bo Nix twice in this game, they could definitely be very, very competitive in the fourth quarter. And if it gets down to the Chargers have a 4-point lead and there's only 8 minutes left, and they have the ball at the 25, they might be able to just run that 8 minutes out if they play their cards right. So I could definitely see the Chargers going into the AFC Championship game and then getting their ass beat by whoever the AFC South team is.
Yeah, definitely. So right here, I have duplicated the tabs, so that way we have Jacob. I think we were exactly the same on our picks, right? This is your pick.
I think so as well.
So
yes.
I just want us to go through based on what we picked for Super Wildcard Weekend. And Vitor, these are correct, right? Rams, Eagles, Bears, Texans, Jaguars, Patriots. Those are your picks.
Yep, that looks correct.
Okay, so I just want to go, and Vitor, you can give me who you think based on these games so far. You just tell me your winner going in through the Super Bowl from here.
Okay.
So Rams, Seahawks.
First game, Seattle. Are you gonna go into it or just
Yeah. Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously. I'm not gonna really consider the last matchup because that was just too close of a game to really consider. But I just like how Seattle's playing. That defense is dominant. I trust them enough. And the
Did he
Rams,
freeze?
on the other hand.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm back.
Wait, what?
Oh,
yeah, we're all back.
Discord. Yep. Discord.
Okay, that was Discord.
Okay. Yeah, that was Discord.
Sounds like it. Okay, so I'll just restart with the matchup. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna really consider the last matchup because that was too close of a game in my opinion to really get much from that. But I do love how Seattle's defense is playing. Just fundamentally sound, and I don't see the Rams getting much better the last few weeks. So I'll go Seattle here.
There is so much history that says the Rams win this game. I can't justifiably pick the Seahawks, to be honest. Even if they're the slightly better team right now, for me, I can't pick Sam Darnold against the Sean McVay-led Rams, personally. I can't pick the Seahawks to beat the Rams in the playoffs when over the last 5 years, last 10 years, honestly, it's kind of been the Rams. And, well, sorry, not 10, but the last, 8 years probably is around where it's just kind of just been Ram City, especially against the Seahawks. This just feels Rams win, especially because the Seahawks win against the Rams in their last matchup was extremely fluky. to the flukiest of fluky can be. And I just personally don't see that happening again. Although I would love to see it. I like Mike McDonald a lot, and I would love to see McVay lose. And this would probably get Stafford to retire too, which would mean the Rams would probably have to figure out a quarterback.
Yep.
It's something like that.
All right, Vitor, keep going.
Lovely. So moving on to Eagles and Bears.
This is a very close game. This is the clear game of like a new upcomer going against a veteran. The veteran just like has more experience and just crushes the dreams of the upcomer. You know.
Oh.
I don't know if I have that trust in the Eagles though. Like it feels like that's the matchup. It like
That's what my brain's telling me. But I think the Bears are gonna win. I think the Bears shock the Eagles here.
Okay.
Bears Seahawks is a really fun NFC Championship game.
I think so.
And it's one of the few potential matchups in the NFC side that has not occurred yet this season.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
All right, Jaguars, Patriots.
Jags.
I'll go with Jags here. If I trust the Jags to beat the Bills, I trust them to beat the Patriots.
Okay. And then Texans, Broncos.
Texans.
All right. And then the conference championship round. What do you got?
I'll go with Seattle against the Bears. Unfortunately for the Bears.
Okay.
I'll go with the Jags against the Texans, and I'll go with Seattle in the Super Bowl. I think they're my Super Bowl pick.
All-time jersey Super Bowl.
It could be, yeah. That would be something, huh? Okay, so that's your current bracket.
It is my current
I'll
bracket.
save that for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, I think I could copy the clipboard and just send it to the group chat.
Perfect.
Well, I don't know if that link works, but anyway, okay, Jacob, your turn. These are your matchups for the divisional.
Alrighty.
You just let me know.
Yeah, so I'm going to be riding with the 49ers, similar to how I was riding with the Rams in that matchup for Roofy's bracket. Don't know why I commented on that. I wasn't thinking.
It's okay.
But yeah, the Niners I feel like are just the team that we've seen over the last few years have more success in the playoffs. I'm really riding with Brock Purdy in this playoff run.
You're riding.
Good quarterback to ride.
Okay, buddy.
No.
It is a good quarterback to ride with. He's a cool dude.
Oh my.
Yeah. Or he's a chill guy. Anyways, I just feel the Niners in this game. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. I like your team. I want to see you in the Super Bowl. It'd be a fun team to watch. Anywho, they got the Rams at the Chicago Bears. This is such a Rams game to win, but it's way more fun if the Bears win. So I want the Bears to win, but the Rams would probably end up winning this game. This is one where the experience just is too much.
Okay.
Then going over onto the AFC side, we have the Texans at the Jaguars, which is going to be around earlier than what Barufi had, but similarly to him, I'm going to also be riding with the Jaguars here.
Okay.
And then, as I alluded to prior, I got the Chargers upsetting the Broncos as well. I feel more confident about that pick than I do about the Chargers upsetting the Patriots, to be honest. I just feel really good about the Chargers beating the Broncos in the playoffs. Which gets us to playoff rematches from 2022. Yay!
Yeah.
I got the Niners losing to the Rams because it just always happens that way. And then I have the Chargers beating the Jags because I feel like it'd be more fun to see Herbo in the playoffs in the LA matchup in Levi Stadium.
No! Oh God, gross! Fucking if one of the end zones says Rams in the Super Bowl at Levi's, I will throw up all over the place. It will not be a fun scene.
Hey, wait. Who's the quarter? Wait, fuck. Which quarterback in the AFC hasn't played in Levi? Allen. Josh Allen has never played in Levi's. That's the narrative going into the playoffs or whatever.
Yeah.
We all have him losing in the wild card, you know? It just feels that way. I'm sorry. I mean, and honestly, I could see them getting boat raced. I could see it not being close.
Yeah, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I just get him a better team. Like, holy shit, get him a better coach,
Dude. The team building has literally been reverse. It's been negative. They just keep losing players and not gaining any.
They're getting
Can you name a
older.
quality addition since Ed Oliver?
Yeah.
For the Bills.
Yeah, you might not be able to
name a. Like in the draft, I mean, obviously Stephon Diggs was a quality fucking addition.
Right, yeah. They haven't drafted well. The injuries have killed them as well, as far as certain players. But yeah, it's been tough. All right, your Super Bowl.
Remember when Chiefs fans were like, "Oh my God, you guys let us get Xavier Worthy? You guys really took Keon Coleman? Like, they both suck, okay?"
I mean, one of them is a healthy scratch, though, in every game.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Your Super Bowl matchup, the Rams and the Chargers. Who do you got?
The most boring matchup.
This is not boring, dude.
Yeah,
You're just a hater, bro. This would be a really fun matchup, dude. You got Jim Harbaugh in the Super Bowl. Hasn't done
Jim
it
Harbaugh's
yet.
an industry plan, bro. Put that man back in Michigan, man.
Okay, buddy. You're just salty. This is a fun Super Bowl. Give me the Chargers just because I don't want the Rams to win in Levi's either.
Thank you. That's really reassuring. Okay. That's your bracket. I don't know if the link works, but I'm going to send it anyway. It's still up on a tab, so I can screenshot later. All right, here's my bracket. Full fucking bias. I think the Niners are a team of destiny this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Brock
beat the
Purdy
Seahawks
is that
in
fucking
Seattle.
guy.
Sorry, Seahawks. And then the Bears are going to beat the Rams because they
I don't think he's
turnovers.
sorry, guys. I just don't feel the sorry.
No,
Yeah, sorry,
you rotten
my
hell.
ass, man.
You rotten hell. You stole the one seed from us. Fred Ward is going to come back and fucking pick you off 3 times.
It would be just like that for Tory. That would be the Seattle fandom.
Hey, he's seen his team win a Super Bowl, okay? I've seen my team lose 3. They have 5 Super Bowl wins, and I've seen the 3 losses. It's gonna happen.
At least you don't have the Minneapolis Miracle the year before the pass interference. That back-to-back 1-2 kablam. Fucking hell.
At least I don't have Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills losing 4 in a row to NFC East teams.
At least you don't have the Vikings being the best team in football, having a kicker who had not missed a kick all year, missing the game-winning kick from 20 yards out.
Yeah. Brutal stuff. Anyway, divisional round, Texans, Jaguars. It's really tough. This Texans defense is just unreal, and man, if I don't pick them to move on, I might be lost. Chargers, Broncos, another tough one, I think, but I'm going to lean toward the better defense. I think where the matchup suits the Chargers is that the Patriots don't generate as good of pressure, but the Broncos do generate a ton of pressure. So I think that could be the reason that, that the Chargers don't make it that time. And then championship rounds, I've got the Niners and I've got the Texans, and then I've got the Niners winning the Super Bowl. Because suck it, nerds. My team's in the playoffs, your team isn't. Frankly,
Oh, wow. The Niners fan chose the Niners to go against the DeMeco Ryans Texans. Big fucking shocker.
in reality, really, I think that whoever emerges out of the AFC South in this matchup, I think is going to the Super Bowl. So it'll be one of 3 teams. I really think so. I think it'll be the Texans, the Jaguars.
Imagine going into this year and being like, yeah, the 2 teams that are in the playoffs that are like the scary, like the Grim Reapers are the fucking AFC South teams.
Yeah, what a
Yeah, we got the Lamar
really
Jackson
funny.
Ravens. We got the Joe Burrow Bengals, the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs, the Drake May Patriots, the Josh Allen Bills, Justin Herbert Chargers. And we're scared of the Trevor Lawrence Long Locks Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans.
Yeah, that is really funny. But I do think It'll be the Texans, Jaguars, or Bills. I think it's one of those 3 teams out of the AFC. That's my gut feeling.
I think it's Texans, Jag, or Pats.
Not the Chargers, huh? not your Super Bowl winner. Not your Super Bowl winner, Chargers. As one of the.
If we're being realistic, it's probably the Patriots.
This is the guy who had J.J. McCarthy as a top 5 MVP candidate going into the season, folks.
Let him know.
I'm sorry, dude. They just have Drake, May. And the more you think about it, the more Drake, May is just Drake, May.
That shit fucked me up. That shit just fucked me up.
Let me correct myself. Most likely represented as AFC are the Jags, Chargers, and Drake, May.
All right.
Drake, May, yeah. Thank you.
Fair enough. All right, that was a hoot. That was a really fun one, guys. One of you guys give us our coastal call for this week's episode of Coast Knows Ball.
I did it last week, so take it away, Broofy.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys learned or saw today who's going to be the Super Bowl winners, because I would say that we know what's coming is right, but we have different predictions. So
one of us will be.
I guess we're morons. We're morons. We're gonna be wrong. Fucking Bills are gonna win the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna kill myself. Anyways.
Bills Niners Super Bowl would be so cool.
I will be happy regardless, because I love the NFL. I'm saying this now, but I'm actually gonna be depressed if they win. Anyways, thanks for listening. Subscribe, give us a like. Share it to your brother, share it to your sister, to your priest, your father, your mother. Share it to everybody. Thanks for listening.